Welcome back to the video blog Adam Daniel Mezei is my name, adamdanielmezei.com. So, something that you used to be able to do on the old analog cell phones was kind of jigger your contact list in a way that people whose names didn't necessarily follow in alphabetical order, you could just give them a priority placement by just adding a few vowels in front of their name or consonants, whatever the case may be. I learned this trick from somebody that I used to work for years ago, when he would be kind of ranking people in his contact lists or his address books. The old address books, you know, the old kind of, it was a Windows kind of an email application where you could kind of just bring up an address book, and so that he'd have like a hit list of his top contacts, whether they were VC people or just his family members or whatever the case may be, whatever was of interest to him. He would rank them like a regular address book, but then if he wanted priority listings, he'd put like A or AAA or AAA or 5As or 6As, very much like what the people do in the yellow pages in the directories. You know, if you have more A's in your name, or it's like the iTunes problem. For example, a title that has like a T or a letter that's further down in the alphabet, like a V or something like that, unless you have an A or an article, like A, the indefinite article, or the, you know, the definite article, unless you have something like that that's like definite about the name, you're going to be really down in the priority listing. Okay, so now you have the basic gist. Now, on old analog phones, you could kind of have a one-touch sort of a scrolling through your address book. So depending on what you'd click, you just press like a single down arrow, and then you get like a toggling of your various addressees. So it's been interesting because I kind of use a modified phone that has that sort of a feature in it, and I like it because I can kind of text when I'm not really looking at the screen. I've got it down pat in terms of the letters in my mind. I can kind of just do it like this, like when I'm talking to you, or I could do something else and I could text, which is kind of handy. Like if I'm driving, I can just kind of text and drive at the same time. So I like to kind of keep a certain number of people in the AAA, 5As or 6As in the top category. It's been interesting over time in the last couple of months seeing who's occupied that position and for whatever particular reason why I've had them there. And then it's been interesting kind of watching the people that have lost that particular priority position. Now that sounds like a semi-arrogant comment. Unfortunately, I don't mean it to be arrogant, even though you might take it that way. But it's been interesting kind of going back in my mind and thinking to myself, why did that particular person deserve that position? Am I texting them that often that they would merit to be in that position? Again, merit being a strong word, but I just want to kind of convey the idea. And it would be interesting to plot it on a graph, or to kind of keep like an open document, as I do for a number of other things, just to kind of see who gets to be in that 5 times A position, so that I can instantly get to them with a single thumb click down if they're being texted multiple times per day. And it's happened in the last few weeks where I've been doing that with particular individuals who no longer occupy those positions for very obvious reasons. You know who you are and the reasons why you're not there anymore. But I've been doing it for years. I was doing it in Europe when I was living in Europe, and now I'm doing it when I'm back here in Canada. And so I'm going to continue to do it, and even when I'm on the smartphones, I will continue to have a modified version of that, because I think it's important to kind of like override the alphabetical order of things at times. I'm curious to know if anybody else does that, or am I like the only person who does that? So I learned that from somebody working at a tech company years ago, and it's just something that stuck in my head for some reason. The things you learn at the job postings you have, go figure. Wishing you the best of things to the sound of the cicadas. That's what that sound is, by the way. Those are cicadas. I had to do a whole wiki search to find out what that was all about.